Hi guys, what is up? It's Laura here, back with another video. So I have a couple things to show you guys. It's gonna be like a sit down slash mukbang. So I got this package in the mail. I wasn't expecting to even get, I was thinking this was gonna be a different package. But, so I'm doing like a friend collab with this person who lives in NC. And it takes a little bit for mail to get from NC to Michigan, obviously with like shipping delays and crap, but this will be an item that I am going to review on my channel. But this is natural powder shampoo, which I have never heard of the concept of this, but I am intrigued to use it because I like reviewing things, and the idea of powder shampoo sounds pretty cool to me. I'm getting another thing from Blue Nectar, but this is my first item. You can get them on Amazon. This is the anti-aging saffron cream. Look how fancy it looks. Just look at that. So fancy. Okay, so enough rambling about stuff that has nothing to do with the movie. This is the food item I'll be trying. These are the tropical mango marshmallows, and they are Hello Kitty themed. That's what they look like. Ooh, they smell like Hi-Chew. They have a mango jelly inside. Those are really good. Okay, so oh, I thought something was on my screen. I gotta redo my like background and figure out what I want to do with that. But if you guys have ever watched the first After, why is everyone blowing up my phone now? It's never when I'm like not doing anything. So if you guys have ever watched the movie After, it is a movie about a girl. Her name's Tessa. She graduated high school and moved to go to a college. She meets this dude. She was already dating someone. And I want to preface, I did put in the title that there's spoilers. So do not watch this if you have either A, never watched the movies, because what I'm going to say is probably going to confuse you, or B, haven't watched this particular movie and are waiting to see the next one. I can't speak. But I drove all the way to watch this movie, which at first I thought, oh, it won't be that far away to get to. I was sorry, I was like very, very mistaken. This movie was, I kid you not, like 50 miles away from my house. And like it was raining, and I'm like one of those people, like even if like the back way is longer, I will take the longer route to get to said movie. So it took me even longer to get. I missed probably like 10 to 15 minutes of the first movie. I mean the first like part of the movie. But the scene that I made it to was basically Tessa and Trevor. Trevor is a character that she meets at her internship, and they're at a club celebrating or whatever. And that's the start of the movie. I'm hoping that in the 10 to 15 minutes that I missed because I got there late, that I didn't miss too much, but you never know. I will say, if you don't agree with me on my opinions about this movie, I totally get it. These are just my own thoughts, and I wanted to put this reaction video out there as soon as possible so that the details and everything are still fresh. But yeah, so this movie compared to the first movie, After, was already a movie that was kind of like put on hold for a while because of COVID and everything. And obviously, you know, they had to keep pushing the dates. So I've been waiting for this movie a while. Like, no hour and a half drive was going to stop me from seeing this movie that I've been waiting a while for. So it's a movie that was like very, very fast paced. It did touch upon like addiction. Hi! It did touch upon very explicit content like addiction and stuff like that. And for the most part, it's been a while since I've read any of the books, and it's also been a while since I watched the movie on Netflix. but it seemed pretty true to the story. There was a couple of things that I noticed that I was kind of confused by. So there was this one scene where Tessa like gets into like a car accident, and the whole meaning behind that was that the whole relationship of like Hardin and Tessa, the two people who are the main characters, trying to work is a very toxic relationship. The whole like movie set is kind of around this idea that these two characters are very toxic for each other. But she gets into a car accident because she was looking for Hardin the whole night, and it was the next morning, and she got into her car. She finally gets a response from Hardin, and she responded, but she ended up like not paying attention to like the light that was like, you know, the light that you go through when you're trying to like cross an intersection. Well, she missed that, got into an accident, and I was very confused by the fact that she, in one scene, was in like a wheelchair, but she was put on a stretcher in, you know, when she got into this car accident. And then the next, like, the whole rest of the movie, she looked fine. And I'm sure that this is solely because, you know, it's not real, it's a movie. But that makes no sense to me whatsoever, that, like, she got into this serious car accident and she's basically, you know, basically nothing happened to her. And I totally get, like, you know, it's trying to signify that this person is dangerous. You should not be in a relationship with such a toxic person, and it's a very toxic relationship. It's just confusing to me. Like, make it make sense. And one of the main things that changed besides, like, the movie, I guess I'll give a little bit of backstory on how this movie and book even came about for people who have never, like, heard of this book before. So After was actually about a fan fiction of a girl, and it was Harry Styles related. And it was written on Wattpad. And Wattpad is basically an app where you can, like, write stories and type out stories. Hi! And basically, it got, like, really, really huge, and it became, like, a series of books, and then they made it into a movie, and I loved the first movie. A lot of people, like, say that it was, like, a really shitty movie, but I liked it because, I don't know, I'm not one of those people that, like, nitpicks certain things from a movie and a book. I'm, like, one of those people that I can enjoy them as separate entities. I know a lot of people aren't like that. They're like, oh, well, you know, they totally messed up this person's hair. Like, they messed up that hair. I'm not okay with that movie. No, I don't care what their hair looks like, to be honest. So, this movie was definitely more explicit than the last movie. The last movie was kind of just introducing the characters, introducing, like, their roles and everything. The main difference that was a spoiler that because they did change producers and everything. The main difference between the books and the movie is that they changed the love triangle. So the love triangle in the books is a character by the name Zed. He's like a bad boy friend of Hardin's. And they want Tessa, basically. But because the first movie didn't align with that storyline, they had to change it to Trevor, who is this dude who I said before was basically working with Tessa in the internship. So that's the main difference. And personally, from looking at what Trevor and looking at what Zed look like, because they are still both in the second movie, I'm completely okay with that because, I mean, Dylan Sprouse is, like, really good looking, so I'm okay with seeing, like, more scenes from him and less of Zed. Like, no offense, but, I mean, between the two of them, he's better looking to me. So that was the main difference that you'll see. I believe that they changed up a couple of the characters. I think they changed up the stepmom. But like I said, I'm not a huge, like, person when it comes to, oh, you change characters. Like, as long as the replacement isn't significantly worse than the person who did the movie before, or say like they don't have like a big huge role, then I don't mind. So that wasn't a big deal to me. I think they're planning on changing the role of Landon for the next movie, which kind of pisses me off because he is kind of a big role in that movie, and like completely changing him is kind of like, why are they even doing that? So yeah. And then why the heck is there 5 people here? Like, hey, hello. Just me talking about a movie I watched. But yeah, so I absolutely love the Trevor and Hardin love triangle. That is great. When you watch the movie, there are like, I wasn't expecting the small like humorous bits in it. They mention Uber a lot. I'm like kind of wondering if they have like a secret sponsorship, because I know in movies, if like a certain product or a certain name is mentioned multiple times, then it's kind of apparent that that like company, I mean, this is just like a guess. I'm not sure if they got a sponsorship from them, but Uber was mentioned at least a handful of times. So, yeah. And then there's like just a couple of really cute scenes that were definitely different from the book. Not that I remember, but when Tessa and Hardin get like in that stage of wanting to like make up, get back together, forgive each other, blah, 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 there was some scenes where they have like, oh, it's your birthday, or like, happy belated birthday, we can do whatever you want, which I thought that was like a really, really cute scene. So they ended up going to ice skating, and Hardin was incredibly bad at ice skating. I'm really bad at ice skating too, but it was really funny to watch. And then they ended up not doing that and doing hot yoga, and then things got really explicit after there. But I don't know, the whole like, that was a cute scene to me, and I don't remember reading about it. If I did remember reading about it, I would mention that I remember reading about it. But like I said, it's been like over a year since I read these books, so some of the details of book and movie are foggy to me. But overall, I would say that this movie was actually pretty good. It's a lot different than the first movie. The first movie, I would say, is very, very tame compared to this movie. So if you cannot handle explicit content, like talking about abuse, alcoholism, sexual content, probably not watch this movie. But if you've read the books, or if you watched the first movie, you should be okay with that stuff, because it's very apparent that that stuff is going to be mentioned. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. I would give it a 10 out of 10. Hopefully, if COVID will stop being like this, I can actually watch the movie again, so I can actually know what happened in the first 10 to 15 minutes that I missed. So that's going to do it for the review. Thank you so much. This was a very, very out there review, but I don't do this for like, you know, a usual video style, so I don't know how to organize my thoughts. But yeah, it was a good movie. Go watch it.